Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome everybody to today's lesson. We will begin today's lesson as per usual with our daily dua. Assalamu alaikum, discipline in charge. Could we have our first student, please?
Yeah, if we can try G2739.
G2739. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today? Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Is that G2739?
Yes.
We can't hear you very clearly. There's some background noise.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, if you can be in a quiet place, that would be brilliant.
Yes, 1 second.
Okay, jazakumullah.
Yes, I'm here in the
Okay, alhamdulillah, that's good. Okay, so are you okay to do the daily prayer with me today?
Yes.
Excellent. So we're going to start with Tawuz. I will read, then you recite after me, and then you can recite the translation. Okay?
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
And translation?
I seek refuge with Allah from
Satan,
Satan, the
rejected. Well done. Good. And if we go on to Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Translation?
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
Merciful. Well done. Excellent. And the daily prayer for today. Rabbi allimni ma huwa khayrun indak.
Rabbi allimni ma huwa khayrun Induka.
Right. Once more with me. I'm going to break it down because we had a little bit of a confusion here. Rabbi allimni.
Rabbi allimni.
Ma huwa. Khayrun indak. Daka or duck if you're doing a waqf there. Okay. Daka. Good. Well done.
Daka.
And the translation.
Oh my Lord, teach me what is best for me in your knowledge.
Jazakumullah. Thank you so much, G2739. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay. So we all know our class etiquettes by now. We need to be in a quiet place with our parent present. Please make sure you have your correct ID written in the participants box so that we have your attendance and you can be chosen. Make sure also you go into the chat box and fill out the attendance form as well, please. Okay, so in today's lesson, the schedule for today's lesson, we're going to be going over the rule. The rule in focus will be blank alif. So we'll be going to go over one of the times when we may have a blank alif in the Quran and what we need to do with that blank alif. We will then be continuing with our practice text, chapter 26. We will today be completing, inshallah, our surah, verses 221 to 228. We will revise our hard words of tilawat as well. And we will then finalize with our homework and consolidation. Okay, so blank alif. Blank alif. So sometimes, just a second, let me move this. sometimes in the Quran, there are some Quranic words which start with a blank alif. That means an unvoweled letter. That means an alif which has no stroke or sign on top of it. Okay. Now, there are several rules when we see a blank alif and what we need to do with it. Okay. And it depends on the other letters which come after the alif, right? So in the first example here, we can start from the Arabic chart is going this way, so we're going to start from this side, right? So the first example here, if there is a blank alif, the blank alif will always take a fatha if the next letter is a lam sakin or a lam mushaddad. Okay, so you can see here in these examples, we have a blank alif here, we have a blank alif here, right? In both cases, the next letter is a lam, right? The next letter is a lam. Again, we have a blank alif here, and we have a blank alif here. Okay? The next letter is a lam. Again, the next letter is a lam. So if you have a blank alif and the next letter is a lam, you need to put a fatha on the alif. Okay, so it's got the example of how you would see it, visualize it in the Quran, how you would see it in the Quran, and how we would pronounce it underneath. So in this case, there is a blank alif, there is a ra with a shad on the top, mushaddad ra, followed by a ha sakin, mim with a vertical fatha, and a noon with a dhamma. Right? So you imagine that there is a fatha on top of your alif and you join it to your next letter. So in this example, it would be Ar-Rahmanu, Ar-Rahmanu. Okay. Now, here again, we have a lam, this time with a sukoon on the top, but we still have this blank alif that comes before it. How do we say it? We look at the text underneath. We imagine that there is an alif on top of the fatha, sorry, an alif. There is a fatha on top of the alif, okay, and then you would join. So you will say al-maliku. Okay, so you can't see the fatha, but you have to imagine there is one. Al-maliku. Okay, in the next example, again, blank alif, the next letter is lam, with a shadda this time, lam mushaddad. So you will pretend, or you will imagine, you'll imagine that there is a fatha on top of the alif, and you will say, alladhi, alladhi. Okay, and in this case, there is a lam, the next letter is a sin with a shadda on the top, but you see the lam after the alif, so therefore you will say, you will join the alif to the sin, you would say, as you can see in the written example below, you say Assalamu, so that you put a fatha on top of the alif and you say Assalamu. Okay, so anytime you see a blank alif at the beginning of a word, okay, and the next letter is a lam, and you see the lam there, right? Lam mushaddad or a lam sakin. In that instance, you have to imagine that there is a fatha on top of the alif and you pronounce the alif with a fatha. Okay, so if I can have a student on the mic to practice that rule. Assalamu alaikum. Is clear in chat?
Can we ask G2 676?
Assalamu alaikum, G2 676.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Jazakallah for asking. So if we start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we'll practice these words here.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Done. So if we have a blank alif and the next letter is a lam, what stroke do we need to put on the alif?
A fatha.
Fatha. Well done. So let's have a go at this first word. you want to have a go by yourself?
Yeah.
Off you go.
Al-Rahmanu.
Okay, so there is nothing in this instance, there is nothing on the lam. So you have to join the alif directly to the ra. Okay, so we would say Ar-Rahmanu.
Ar-Rahmanu.
Very good, well done. Let's have a go at this one now.
Al-Maliku.
Very good. So you put the fatha on top of the alif and you join it to the lam there. Al-Maliku, well done. Let's have a go at this one now.
Allazi.
Very good. Remember, this is a the sound, the sound. Alladhi. Once more.
Allazi.
Very good. Excellent. Now, again, there's an alif and there's a lam, and then the lam is blank as well, but there is a shadda on the seen. So what will we join the alif to, the lam or the seen?
You join it straight to the scene because it has a mushaddat letter.
Excellent. Very good. Well done. So you join your alif with the fatha straight to your seen. Off you go.
As-salamu.
Very good. As-salamu. 2 seconds there. You do that really well. Once more.
As-salamu.
Very good. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your help. G2676. Allah Hafiz. Okay. Good. Well done. Now, the next rule that we have is, I am going to do this last one. We're going to do the middle one at the end. Okay. So the next rule that we have is, if the very first mutaharik, that means vowed letter of such a word bears a dhamma, then the blank alif will take a dhamma. So if you see all of these examples here, we are looking for the first voweled letter. Remember, a voweled letter is a letter with a kasra, a dhamma, or a fatha, or an inverted kasra or an inverted dhamma, but it is not a letter with a sukoon on the top. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to look really carefully. We say, which is the first letter with a dhamma? In this example, it is the ta. We have a blank alif here. The ta has a dhamma on top. So therefore, the blank alif will also take a dhamma. And we would pronounce this uqtulu. Uqtulu. Okay. Now, again, in this example, the ta has a sukoon, it's a ta sakin. We need to see the next letter with a vowel, which is our lam here. The lam has a dhamma, therefore the alif will take a dhamma. And we will say this, utlu, utlu. Okay, what about in this case? Again, we have a blank alif at the middle, at the beginning. The seen has a sukoon, so we're not going to concentrate on the seen. We're going to look for the next letter, which has a vowel. What is that next letter? It is the jim. Okay, the jim, it has a dhamma on the top, right? Therefore, the alif will also carry a dhamma. We will pronounce this usjudu, usjudu. Okay, and the last example here. Okay, again, we have a dal. It has it's a dal with a sukoon on top, dal sakin. So we are not looking at that letter. We find the next letter. What it is? It's a kaf with the dhamma on the top, right? This letter here. So therefore, we know that the alif will also carry a dhamma, and we will say udhkuru, udhkuru. Okay, if I can have another student on the mic.
If we could have G2 607.
Assalamu alaikum, G2607.
Assalamualaikum. I think it's my daughter, but she's gone for her prayer. She'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, if we could have another student, please.
If we could have G2690.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Jazakumullah for asking. If you can start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah, then we'll begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so if we have a letter, a blank alif, and the first vowel letter has a dhamma on the top, what will the blank alif take?
Adama.
A dhamma. Well done. Do you want to have a go at this one?
Okay. Uqtulu.
Very good. Uqtulu. Well done. In this case, again, what will the alif take? What stroke?
Adama.
A dhamma. You want to have a go at that one?
Utlu.
Utlu. Well done. Excellent. What about in this case?
Usjulu.
Usjudu.
Usjudu.
Good. This is, I know it looks like a lam, but this is a dal. A lam has a much longer line, straight up like that. A dal is much more curved here. Okay. Usjudu.
Usjudu.
Very good. And the last one here.
Uzkuru.
Very good. So remember, this is dal. It's a th sound. Uzkuru.
Uzkuru.
Very good. Jazakumullah G2 G2690. Thank you for your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay, so we've looked at two rules. We've said if there is a blank alif and it's followed by a lam, then lam shad lam sakin, we will put a fatha on the blank alif. If the alif it's a blank alif and the next mutaharik letter, the next letter with a stroke, a vowel letter, has a dhamma on the top, the alif will take a dhamma, right? Now, the last rule, and the reason I left this last, is the easiest way to remember this is a fatha, if you have a lam, if the blank alif comes next to a lam, a dhamma, if the blank alif, if the next vowel letter after the blank alif is a dhamma, you'll put a dhamma on the alif. For all other letters, you will use a kasra. So if the second or third letter of such a word bears a fatha or a kasra, the blank alif will take a kasra. Okay, so a fatha, it can be a fatha, or it can be a kasra. The first stroke letter can be a fatha or a kasra. Yeah? Then the blank alif will take a kasra. Okay, so in this first example, it would be i'lamu, i'lamu. Okay, next example here. Ittaqu, ittaqu, because the first stroke letter has is a fatha, right? And it's not a lam. Yeah, so you would put a kasra on the alif. In this case, again, it's a kasra. The jim has a kasra, the first stroke letter. So you put a kasra on the alif as well. Okay, it would be irji'i, irji'i. Okay, and the last example here, again, you have a ba with a kasra. So your alif will also have a kasra. Ihbitu, ihbitu. Okay, so if you have a lam sakin or lam mushaddad, and you have a blank alif before that, the alif will always take a fatha. If you have you have a blank alif and your first voweled letter has a dhamma, your alif will always take a dhamma. For all other letters, for all other strokes, whether it's the second or the third letter and it has a fatha or a kasra, your blank alif will take a kasra. Okay, we're not going to go through this with the students because we need to get on to our Quranic practice, but please make sure that you try to remember this rule. Jazakallah. Okay, so we are going to go on to our Quranic practice now. This is the last section of the chapter. So inshallah, please try to recite really well. You've mashallah finished a whole surah. When I have a student on the mic, I will recite the verse, and as per usual, the student will recite after me, and then we will make any corrections or improvements where we need to. Okay, so if I can have the next student, please.
If we could have G2 735.
Assalamu alaikum, G2 735.
I think they're unable to unmute, so we'll try a different student.
Okay.
G2 601.
Assalamu alaikum, G2 601. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are
Alhamdulillah.
you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. If you're ready, can you start with Tawud and Tasmiyah, and then we'll begin.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Very good. Just stop there for a second. Stop there for a second. So I'm going to recite the verse, and then you can recite after me. Okay? Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنه هو السميع العليم
إنه هو السميع العليم.
Very nice, mashallah. So your connection was cutting out a little bit. So could you just try that once more? Whatever I could hear was really good, but just try it once more.
إنه هو السميع العليم.
Very good. Really, really good with your noon gunna there. You held on that sound for 2 seconds. You made sure you continued with your 2 second inverted dhamma sound there. Your mushaddad seam was really good. You really pushed down, hardened it. So you pronounced all the letters really well, really clearly. And you made sure that your timing was accurate on every letter as well. So that was really good, mashallah. So we're going to go on to the next verse. Okay. هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين
هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين.
Very good. Very nice. Well done. So I'm really liking the fact that you're really focusing. You're making sure that you're even making corrections yourself, because you're just seeing, okay, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't look right. And you corrected yourself over here. That was really, really good. What I want you to do now is I want you to take a nice deep breath in. Okay, hold it, and then use that breath to recite as much of the verse as you can. Okay, so have another go from here. Nice deep breath in.
هل أنبئكم على من
Remember, this dry is a thick letter. That was really, really good effort. Okay, so I'm gonna take a breath in. I'm going to show you. Okay, once more. هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين. Okay, so the more you work, that's really good. You're pronouncing your letters really well. You're trying to elongate in the right places. You're keeping your letters short in the right places. So the next step for you, this is where you need to really work and practice yourself, is using your breath to try and say as much of the verse as possible. And the more you practice that, taking a nice deep breath in and then reciting, the easier it will get, and it will come with practice. It doesn't come straight away. Okay, so mashallah, you're reciting really well. You just need to now focus on trying to use your breath to help you recite in your verses. Okay? Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your help.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Jazakallah discipline charge. Can we have our next student, please? Oh.
If we could have G2733.
G2733. Assalamu alaikum, G2733.
I think they're unable to unmute. Let's try G2636.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah.
Excellent. Good. If we start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah, then we can begin.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good, well done. So I'm going to recite the verse and then I want you to recite after me. Okay? تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم.
تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم.
Very good. You pronounced all of your letters well. You made sure that you were elongating in the right places. Okay, good. Well done. Once more. Again, try to take a deep breath in before you start and just recite the verses with as much of that breath as possible. You can take another breath if you need to, but try to do it as much as you can. Once more.
تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم.
Very nice. Did you say that all in one breath? Yes? It sounded like you did. And when you say it in one breath, your flow becomes better. Okay, it sounds really good, mashallah. Well done. Let's move on to the next verse. يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبون.
يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبون.
Very good, very good. So make sure here that you elongate for 2 seconds, okay? يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبون. Once more.
يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبون.
Okay, good, very good, much better. So what we need to do is just keep practicing. You're reciting well, you're recognizing things well. Keep practicing, keep working on your breath, just like I said with the previous student, because the more you work on your breath, the better your flow will become and the more beautiful it will sound as well. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz. We could have our next student, please.
If we could try G2731.
731. G2731.
I think they're unable to unmute. G2736.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. I'm well. Are you understanding everything okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. So if we start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah. Okay. Just a second. Okay, so I will recite the verse and then you can recite after me. Okay. وَالشُّعَرَاءُ يَتَّبِعُهُمُ الْغَاوُونَ. Is it possible to have somewhere quiet, because otherwise other students can't hear?
Yeah, my sister she just keeps coming in my room, so
Okay. I think she's gone now. Okay, let's try that once more. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you try that once more?
والشعراء يتبعهم الغاوون.
Very good. So how many seconds? Do you remember how many seconds we recite this for?
Is it 5?
Yeah, four to 6. Yeah, minimum about 4, going up to about 6 seconds. Yeah, so when we say it, we need to make sure that we elongate that, right? وَالشُّعَرَاءُ يَتَّبِعُهُمُ الْغَاوُونَ. Once more.
والشعراء يتبعهم الغاوون.
Okay, good. What letter is this?
Is it a ghain?
Ghain, well done. Ra, because sometimes on the sound on a computer, I can't hear clearly whether you were saying kha or ra, but you know it's a ghain, so that's fine. So here you just need to be really clear that you say each letter separately. Yeah, uhumul, uhumul, because sometimes when we're saying the same sound, it sounds like we're saying hum. So uhumul ghawun. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I'll recite it and then you can have a go. Alam tara annahum fi kulli wadin yahimun.
Alam tara annahum fi kulli wadi yahimun.
Okay, good, well done. Again, make sure that you elongate that sound. It's a 2-second sound. Because of the yamada. Now, you have to make your nasal sound here. Okay, you have the idgham here, so you have to make your nasal sound. That you can hear that nasal sound coming at the same time. Okay, once more.
Alam tara annahum fi kulli wadin yahimun.
Good, well done. So again, this was a little bit short. You needed to elongate that for 2 seconds. This was really good. You made sure you did your alif madda here. So when you are practicing, just make sure that you really focus on your letters of mud, right? So that, because this can change the meaning of the word if you don't pronounce it for the right amount of time. Okay, so make sure you really focus on that. Okay, let's do this the next verse as well. وَأَنَّهُمْ Sorry, one second, sorry. وَأَنَّهُمْ يَقُولُونَ مَا لَا يَفْعَلُونَ.
وَأَنَّهُمْ يَقُولُونَ مَا لَا يَفْعَلُونَ.
Very nice, really good. It sounded like you were using your breath really well in that last verse. Could you just tell me what letter this is?
Oh, it's a fa, but I think I did it. I got confused with it.
Yeah, that's fine. You recognized it. So could you just say that last section again?
يَفْعَلُونَ.
Very good. Well done. So that was much better. I feel like in that last verse, you were using your breath. I feel like you tried to recite it all in one breath. And what happens then is it makes the flow much nicer. And it sounds more beautiful as well. So keep practicing that, making sure that you're concentrating on your letters of elongation and making sure that you use your breath to try and recite as much of the verse as possible in one go. Okay, Jazakumullah, thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay, if we could have our next student, please.
If we could have G2 735.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, G2735. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I am well. Right, if we can start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, and then we'll continue.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so this is a very long verse. Okay, we have a natural stop here, but we may need to take a break in the middle as well. Right, so you need to listen to me. I'm going to recite the whole verse once, and then we'll break it down and we'll make it smaller so that you can recite it. Okay, you ready? إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وذكروا الله كثيرا وانتصروا من بعد ما ظلموا وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Okay, so let us try to recite. Let us see. Let us see if you can recite up to here, first of all. Okay? Sorry, can you start again, please? That's it. Good. Once more.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات.
Right, stop there a second. Okay. So you recited well. Excellent, well done. Over here we have this all these blank letters. So we have waw, alif, alif, lam, right? With no strokes on them. So you see this lam with the dhamma here, and you see a sad, mashadda sad, with a fatha on top. You need to ignore all these letters in the middle, so no elongation, and you join your lam directly to your sad. Amilus salihati.
Amilus salihati.
Very good, well done. Now, if we are making a stop here, how will we do that? What do we need to do to that kasra? Do you remember? What do we turn it into? We change it into a sukoon. Okay, so amil salihat. Yeah, because we're making a break, we're making a stop, right? So إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. Okay, and then we would stop there, right? Because it's difficult to continue. If you can continue, then you can continue further on, right? Let's start from here though now. Let's start from the waw.
From the waw.
Yeah.
وذكروا الله كثيرا وانتصروا من بعد ما ظلموا.
Okay, so let's try that once more. I'm going to recite it first. وَذَكَرُوا. Again, you have all these blank letters. You just need to ignore them. So you join your lam, you join your ra directly to your lam. وَذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَانْتَصَرُوا مِنْ. Okay, try that.
وذكروا الله كثيرا
So you have a nasal sound here. Rang, rang, wang, tosaru. Okay, good. So I'm going to recite it again from here up to the tahir, the little tiny tahir. Okay. وَذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ. Remember, we're not elongating, right? وَذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَانْتَصَرُوا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا ظُلِمُوا. Once more from here.
وذكروا
وَذَكَرُوا اللَّهَ
وذكروا
الله
الله كثيرا استثروا من بعد ما ظلموا.
Okay, good. It's difficult because it's a really long verse and you're trying to think of lots and lots of things at the same time. Okay, but just keep practicing that. Keep trying to break it down and then putting it together and joining it back together and using your breath as much as possible. Okay, let's do the last section. I'm going to read this section again. Okay. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. Shall I break it down into smaller sections? Or do you want to have a go at the whole thing?
I want to have a go at the whole thing.
Okay, start from the wild then. Well done.
فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.
Very good. So you're making the right joins. You're looking at all the letters. You're pronouncing all your letters correctly. That's really, really good. So what you need to do now is really focus on fine-tuning by using your breath and looking and thinking, where do I need to elongate? Where can I, how long can I continue my breath so that I can make my flow much better? Okay, so وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. Try once more.
فسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.
Really good effort. So just make sure, again, elongating to 3 seconds here. Asia munqa. This is thick sound. Munqalabin. Munqalabin. Yeah. So you need to make a nasal sound here because it's idgham, right? Yanqalibun. And that's where you need to really use your breath because there's lots of elongating and when you're making those nasal sounds as well. Okay. Jazakumullah G2 735. That was a really long verse and you did really well. You tried really hard on that one. So well done. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much for your help. Allah Hafiz. Okay, excellent. So this is the last section that we've covered today of our surah. Please, all of you, mashallah, now you have completed a whole surah of the Holy Quran and you have gone through many, many rules. So please, whenever you are reciting, try to really focus on those rules and focus on using your breath to recite as much of your verse of the Quran within one breath as is possible. You also need to keep practicing your waqf rules as well. So if you need to make a meaningful stop in the middle of a verse, you need to make a waqf and think about the correct rule and then move on after that. Okay? Jazakumullah, thank you so much. Okay, we're going to go on to our hard words of the day. So if we could have our next student on the mic for the hard word.
If we could have G2638.
Assalamu Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well. Jazakumullah for asking. So did you understand everything okay in today's lesson?
Yes.
Excellent, good. So we are going to practice our hard word of the day. So in today's lesson, if you can see, I'm going to recite the word, and then when the slides come up, you can recite with me. Okay, so we have mahattu, mahattu.
Mahatu.
So let's do with the slides. So first we have ma, ma. So you need to say ma.
Ma.
Very good, well done. Then we join not to the dal, but directly to the tha here. Mahat.
Mahat.
So there's no dal sound there at all. Okay, mahat.
Mahat.
Very good. And then finally, just a second. Oh. We add the dhamma on the tha, and we have mahattu.
Mahatu.
Very good. Mahattu.
Mahatu.
Very good. Well done. Excellent. Let's move on to our next word. Okay. So I'm going to say it, and then when we use the slides, then you can repeat after me. So we have kal-ihni. Kal-ihni. Okay. So the first thing we do is we say kal.
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 Very good. Kal-ih.
Kal.
Remember the ayn.
Kal.
Very good. So you really need to use your throat to make that ayn sound, right? Well done. And then we join the noon at the end. Kal-ihni.
Kal-ihni.
Very good. Kal-ihni.
Kal-ihni.
Very good. Well done. Excellent. Jazakumullah G2638. That was lovely recitation. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, good. Well done. So if we can have another student on the mic to practice our hard words.
Can we get G2724?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam G2724. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Excellent. So we're going to go through the hard words in today's lesson. So let's do the first one. How will we say this? We will say mah.
Mah.
Good. Mahat.
Mahat.
Mahattu.
Mahatu.
Very good. Once more.
Mahatu.
Very good. Well done. Let's move on to our next one. Let's have this one. Kal.
Kal.
Kal-ih.
Kal-ih.
Kal-ihni.
Kal-ihni.
Very good. Well done. Jazakumullah G2724 for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, good. Well done. MashaAllah. Everybody's reciting the hard words very, very well. Sometimes people don't think, oh, how is this a hard word? But they are when you are reading them in flow with other words around when you're reading the Holy Quran. So that was really good. MashaAllah. Well done. So we're just going to quickly go over our rule of the day, okay, again, because it's a new rule and it may be one that people have not come across before. So I'm going to quickly go over that and then I will set you your homework. So again, if I can have a student on the mic.
Can we try G2725?
Assalamu alaikum G2725.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Excellent. We start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, good. So let's see if you can remember. If we have a blank alif and the blank alif is followed, or the next mutaharrik letter after the blank alif is a dhamma, then what stroke will we put on the blank alif?
الضمة.
Excellent, well done. So can you recite this word for me, please?
أقتلوا.
Very good. Uqtulu.
أقتلوا.
Very good. Excellent. If a blank alif is followed by a lam sakin or lam mushaddad, what stroke will we put on the blank alif?
الفتى.
A fatha. Well done. Excellent. So if we could recite this for me, please.
الذي.
Alladhi.
الذي.
Good. It's the sound. Alladhi.
الذي.
Very good. Excellent. Well done. Now, if the second or third letter of a word has a fatha or a kasra, what stroke will the alif take?
الكسرة.
Excellent. Well done. So let's do this one.
التقوا.
Okay. What stroke will we put on this alif here?
الكسرة.
Okay, so try once more.
اتقوا.
Very good. Ittaqu.
اتقوا.
Very good. Well done. Try this one.
ارجعي.
Very good. Excellent. Irji'i.
ارجعي.
Excellent. Very, very good. Thank you so much. Jazakumullah G2 725. Really lovely recitation and really good understanding of the rules. Well done. Allah Hafiz. If I can have one more student, please.
G2607.
Excellent. Jazakumullah G2607. Are you on the mic? Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I am well. If we start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah, and then we'll begin.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so what stroke will we put on this blank alif in order to recite this word?
Do you have to put an
So we have a lam here and we have blank alif. What stroke will we put on the alif? There's a hint underneath.
fatha?
A fatha. Well done. Do you want to have a go at that word?
As-salam. As-salamu.
Very good. Once more.
As-salamu.
Very good. Excellent. Now, what stroke will we put on the blank fatha in this word?
Or no, it's a dhamma.
Dhamma. Well done. Because the first mutaharrik letter, that means the first voweled letter,
It's a
has a
dhamma.
dhamma. Good. So therefore you put a dhamma on the alif as well. So could you pronounce that word for me?
Ushudu.
Usjudu.
Usjudu.
Very good. Well done. Now, what about, let's see, this word here. What stroke will we put on the fatha, on the alif? Kasra, because
The first is a kasra.
the first mutaharrik letter has a kasra. Well done. So could you pronounce that for me, please?
Ihu, bi, du,
Good.
ihbitu,
Ihbitu.
ihbitu.
Very good. Jazakumullah. Thank you so much, G607. Thank you for your help. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, good. Well done. So what have we done today? We've been looking at blank alif and the different rules related to a blank alif at the beginning of a word. Okay, whether we have a fatha on the blank alif, whether we have a kasra on the blank alif, or whether we have a dhamma on the blank alif. We completed chapter 26, verses 221 to 228. We looked at our hard words of tilawat, mahatta and kal'ihni. Okay, and what you need to do for your homework is practice today's verses and apply all the rules you've revised so far in your daily tilawat. Please pay attention to what you do when you pause, your vak rules. And remember to keep practicing your hifz chapters in your salat as well. Okay, so Jazakumullah, if we could have a student for our final prayer.
If we could try G2733.
Assalamu alaikum, G2733.
If we could try G2731 then. G2731.
Assalamu alaikum, who's that?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, is that G2731?
Yeah,
Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm well, Jazakumullah. If you can start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah. If we can start with A'udhu Billah, Tawuz. A discipline in charge, do we have our student?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. A discipline in charge, can you hear the student? I'm not hearing.
I think we lost a student for a bit, but they are unmuted again.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'an al-azim.
Allahumma arhamni Qur'an al-azim.
And the translation?
Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great.
وَجَعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً. وَجَعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا إِمَامًا ونورا وهدى ورحمة. And the translation?
And make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance of the mercy.
Jazakumullah, G2731. Jazakumullah to all our students and all parents, and inshallah we will see you again tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.